All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of our community stream. My name is Joe. I'm one of the community managers here at Capcom USA, and I am joined by
Hey everyone, I'm Jono. I'm one of the community managers over at Capcom Europe.
Jono. We've got a special director's letter to go through today. You want to give a quick overview of what this is?
Yeah, so in the early hours of this morning, for those based in Europe, Monster Hunter Wilds director Yu Yu Tokuda dropped a director's letter written by himself for the community, which covers some exciting and interesting news, answers community questions, and kind of gives us an insight about what's coming both in TU1 and beyond.
Yeah, I'm eager to dig into it. So basically, what we're going to do in this stream is kind of just go through the letter, talk a little bit about it from the community side, and basically recap some of the news. I'm sure some of you have already seen this if you've seen it this morning on social media. But for those of you who maybe don't follow our social accounts or are primarily follow us on Twitch and YouTube, this is going to be a great chance to talk about each of these points in some good detail. So, John, should we go ahead and get into it?
Yeah, absolutely. And say me and Joe are both looking at chat as well. So if there are any questions we can answer or you want to share your thoughts with us, please do chuck it in there. But yeah, no gameplay today. We're here purely to help share this news with you. So
Yes.
yeah, so if we scroll down a little bit, we'll be able to get into the introduction of this. And of course, this is written by director Tokuda himself. And it starts off, obviously, today, Joe, we hit quite a big milestone, didn't we? Well, I say today. Today we announced that we'd hit quite
Yes.
a big
Yes.
milestone.
Yes. So 10 million units globally of Monster Hunter Wilds have been sold across all platforms. Obviously, that's a huge milestone for the Monster Hunter franchise and for Capcom. And we want to thank all of you guys out there who have been supporting the game, who went out and picked it up across the last month or so. It has been amazing to see the response. So we're super happy, and you can see in this message here that Tokuda-san is very pleased with the performance of the game. So yeah, thanks again everybody for your support. And Jono, because of that, we are actually commemorating the milestone. Do you want to dig into that a little bit?
Yeah, so we like to celebrate milestones, and we will be releasing a item pack, a commemorative item pack, for free for all players in the near future that you will be able to download and use. Obviously, keep an eye out in game, keep an eye on our socials, and you will be able to know when it's dropping.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, beyond that, the team has been looking really closely at everybody's feedback. And that's something that we've been spending a lot of time, bringing back that feedback to the team in the last month or so, and even before that. So we've again been really hard at work making sure that we can dig into all the points that and feedback that people have brought up, from those things that have been received really positively to the things that have been a little bit more critical. So yeah, maybe let's go ahead and let's keep scrolling here. John, you want to touch on the our roadmap here?
Yeah, so first of all, Tokuda-san started talking about what's next. What is next for Monster Hunter Wilds? Obviously, we know title update 1 is on the horizon, dropping this Friday, April 4th. So lots to look forward to in there. Obviously, content includes Mizutsune is returning, including an 8-star version for those of you that are looking for a bit of a challenge. High rank Zoshia as well, and a little bit later, as you can see on the roadmap, after T1 drops Arch Tempered Raydal. Obviously, as well, all of those monsters bring new gear. Raydal will have a Gamma armor set for Hunter and Palico. Zoshia has weapons and armor, as does Mizutsune. So lots to be excited for there. But there's a little bit more in there, Joe, because it talks about an update coming at the end of May.
Yeah, so we've seen a little bit of confusion online about what this May update is. So I would classify this as kind of like not at the scale of a title update, but there's going to be some great content in there. So it is not free title update 2, but there is some really exciting stuff, including the Capcom collaboration. So you're going to want to stay tuned for what that could be. And we also have some other features and things that are being added within that update. So definitely stay tuned for that one. Also, just want to clarify the title update 1 in the US. It's releasing I believe it on April 3rd at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Pacific. I think that trying to think of the time conversion. What time is that?
Oh,
John, do
early
you know?
hours. I think it's like 2 or 3
Yeah.
a.m. I think for
Yes.
Europe.
Yes. And there is going to
On the
be
4th.
yes. There's going to be a brief maintenance period before then, for a few hours. So definitely check our social channels. I'm trying to think of again the times off the top of my head, but at that time the servers will be down, so there won't be any. You won't be able to play multiplayer, and some other functions will be offline as well. But obviously, you continue to play the game in single player as usual.
Very nice. Should we scroll on?
Yeah.
Now, Joe, this is a topic we've seen obviously discussed, especially amongst our veteran players and more experienced players, and that is challenging monsters. Do you want to take us in on this?
Yeah, so we announced in the showcase that we'll be adding Zoshia, a high rank version of Zoshia, into the game. This will be an 8-star hunt. In addition to that, we've also got Arch-Tempered Raydao on the way via an event quest and a free challenge quest. And we've also announced that Tempered Mizutsune will also have an 8-star version. So currently, right now, Tempered Arkveld is the I believe it's the only 8-star hunt in the game. Is that right, Jono?
I think so. I don't think Gormagala on its own hits 8. I'll need a double check, but I think you're right.
Yeah. So now we're gonna have a little bit more variety within those 8-star hunts that give you RTN rewards, and again, like just really good rewards in general. Yeah, there's going to be some really fun challenges for players who have kind of like reached that end game, have reached kind of like the pinnacle of the mountaintop, and are looking for that next thing to aspire for. So, yeah, again, it's I think it's really exciting. But beyond that, there's actually at least in terms of like the way Arch-Tempered Raydao is structured. Do you want to talk a little bit about that with the kind of like the free challenge quest and the I think that, or sorry, I'm trying to like think about how it works. So it's an event quest and a free challenge quest, right?
Yeah, so Arch-Tempered Raydao will be dropping a little bit after TU1 arrives. So between April 30th, or from April 30th for the event quest, and from Wednesday, May 7th for the free challenge quest. So this will be your opportunity to fight this monster, face your first Arch-Tempered in Wilds, and get its gear as well. And obviously, if you do take part in the free challenge quest as well, there can be some nice pendant rewards, both for participating and being a top hunter. More details on that come in the future. Obviously, the key thing for you, if you want to fight this monster when it's available, HR 50 or above. So if you're not there yet, make sure you get some hunting on so you can enjoy this content.
Oh yeah, excited for it. So as we just mentioned, there is that end of May update. So we are actually, again, so we've already talked about Mizutsune, Zoshia, and Arch-Tempered Raydao, but the team is actually adding another round of 8-star tempered monsters. So that would be the Apex monsters, Raydao, Uthduna, New Udra, and Jindahad, but also an 8-star Gormagala.
There it is. You were right.
Yeah. So currently in the game, there is a tempered 7-star Gormagala, which
one shots you anyway right now.
yeah. I would say, in my opinion, even though it's a 7-star difficulty, if you fight it on the 5-star strength level, it's probably, I think it's the toughest monster. At least like gives me the hardest time.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So John, are you pretty excited for this one?
I am. I mean, I love Gormagala. It's one of my favorite monsters. Has been since 4U. So I'm really looking forwad to going up against an even spicier version of this monster, which is super, super cool. And, as you'll share in a little bit about, not just, are they going to be harder in general, but these monsters are going to have differences in the hunt that you won't experience in monsters that are 7-star and lower, right?
Yeah, so we've really been the teams are really looking closely at kind of the difficulty level and, what kind of adjustments they can make to make these monsters that are being added at the 8-star level and beyond to be more challenging. So they've been making some adjustments behind the scenes to really make them, again, the word here he uses is more resilient. So they'll have higher health. But I think one thing that's super important is resistance to wounding. So, John, do you want to dig into a little bit about why that's important?
Yeah, obviously, the team, as well as, myself and Joe and the community managers, we all, played a lot of the game. We all go through your feedback wherever it is, and we know that wounding is a new mechanic to Monster Hunter. It's a kind of a much more organic approach to kind of softening up the monster, compared to like the Clutch Claw from Iceborne. So obviously with this, we've seen how monsters, how people use wounds against the monster, their impact on the flow of the hunt, and kind of the balance between the hunter and the monster. So with the resistance to wounding, obviously, it sounds obviously on paper that it's going to be harder or take longer to generate wounds on the monster. So you might want to consider your set, consider how you want to approach things when you capitalize on a wound. So, you're not going to be able to just open up the monster with tons of wounds quickly and kind of use that to unleash tons of damage very quickly. So you're going to have to really kind of strategize on that front to kind of make the most of it.
Yeah. In addition to that, just the last thing that's mentioned there is the tweaks to multiplayer scaling. So whether you're playing with 1 or 4 people, there's been tweaks done to make the monsters more powerful in multiplayer. So hopefully, again, all these changes together will really make these tempered 8-star monsters and the monsters at this level more challenging for our veteran hunters who have again reached the end game and are really looking to optimize their sets and test their skills against some more powerful monsters.
Exactly, and as you mentioned, the team have been cooking ever since launch with this, watching, sharing their experiences with each other and deciding the next steps to take. But it's thanks to the constructive feedback and the passion and excitement we're seeing in discussions around this that helps us feed back to the team. So we do look into this and we can see what areas we might want to approach when it comes to add in challenge to the game in a fun and fair way. So thank you for that. And this is just the start. Challenger monsters are also going to appear in future updates, so keep an eye out for those, obviously, as we move forward.
Yeah. All right, let's continue to the next portion here. All right, so balance adjustments. So this is an area where the team is going to continue working on balance from update to update. So in free title update 1, you may not see a huge amount of big balance overhauls. I think this is something where, again, the team has to move a little bit carefully because one change might not be something. It might be something that just kind of makes a weapon less fun to play. So it is something that again, the team is going to move gradually here. But one of the big balance changes that the team is looking at right now is on the hammer. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Jono?
Yeah, so as Joe mentioned, balance is something the team takes very seriously, and it's something they do with a lot of thought and something we're not rushing. But for our big bonkers out there, our hammer enjoyers, the hammer will be the first weapon that's being considered for upward adjustments in general. But obviously, this can come in many forms. It can go in stats, it can go in how the weapon handles and plays. But this isn't obviously coming in 2U1, like Joe mentioned. The team want to make sure it's just right when it drops, or as close as possible to that anyway. So you can expect this to come in the future. So it's kind of very much watch this space. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I hadn't seen too many complaints from hammer users, to be fair. So it's nice to know that the team are really reading between the lines here and seeing what they can do to polish up the weapon.
Yeah, we know Ryozo-san is a hammer main, so I'm sure this is a particular
priority. Yeah.
So let's talk about something that maybe is a little bit overpowered right now. The corrupted mantle. Yeah. So we've seen lots of people using the corrupted mantle and noticing that it is extremely powerful. And this is one where the team has very much noticed this, and it is very much overtuned. So it will be seeing some balance adjustments downward. And at the same time, a lot of the other mantles will see some buffs to them. So the combination of these things will make the whole range of mantles all viable. But really, first and foremost is that corrupted mantle adjustment, again, which is coming in this first free title update. So hopefully we'll start seeing a big variety of people using different mantles out there. Corrupted mantle, I've noticed, yes, it is extremely powerful. So yeah, again, this is one that the team has very much noticed and it has really said that they believe it to be overtuned, so it would be changed significantly.
Exactly. And what I really like is what you touched on about how, whilst the corrupted mantle is being toned down, the other mantles are being uplifted as well. So that, they are viable. And, it's not like the team are looking to butcher the corrupted mantle. Our plan is for all these options to be viable and equally useful depending on your play style or preference. So I'm really keen to see how the evasion mantle comes out of this, because that's the one I've been using.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's really like in our chats with Tokuda-san, that has been really kind of his like balance ethos, which is we don't want to make things like less fun. At the same time, like we don't necessarily want to like nerf a lot of things and again make everything again not fun. So I think this is a great example of that. Of again, corrupted mantle unfortunately does need some balance changes downward, but at the same time we're making the rest of the mantles all viable. So again, a really big focus on variety and making everything viable.
Definitely. Right, what's next? What have we got next? Let's have a look. So, quality of life improvements. Obviously, Monster Hunter Wilds is this huge, seamless experience. It's Monster Hunter on a whole new scale. And with that, obviously, we're always looking to improve even more how seamless it is and the player experience across the board. And as Takuda-san says here, not just like the stuff that we're going to talk about here, but they're always looking to address areas that players find inconvenient. So first of all, the Grand Hub is coming into U1, which is, for the uninitiated, it's the Gathering Hub equivalent for Monster Hunter Wilds, but it's not just a Gathering Hub, it's a Grand Hub. It's going to be awesome, and you'll find out more about that when you discover it on the 4th. So obviously in the Grand Hub, you'll be able to experience reduced waiting times when accessing facility functions, not just in there, but in all the locales as well. So less downtime when you're moving through your menus and wanting to do things with the different NPCs and vendors in the camp, which is really, really cool. On top of that as well, this is something we've seen about, user interface and user experience. So the team are making it easier for you to access the information you want through these features. These will be coming and rolled out gradually across multiple updates, so it won't be fully realized in Title Update 1. You'll see a little bit here, and then it'll be rolling out more as future updates come. So that's very much a watch this space on there. Yeah, something to look forward to.
Yeah, I think one thing that we have seen, or that we've already announced, is the squad lobby vendor. I'm trying to remember her name. Felicita. She is being moved from her location in the Windward Plains over to the Grand Hub. So that's just one example of kind of like streamlining the amount of different areas you have to go to visit different functions and vendors and things like that. So the Grand Hub is going to be, true to its name, a great way to access all of those things in a more streamlined fashion.
Exactly. Right, what do we got after?
Yeah, let's continue.
Improving game stability and other additions. Joe, do you want to get us rolling here?
Yeah, so obviously we've seen a lot of your feedback regarding game stability, things like performance, and things if you're experiencing crashes and bugs and things like that. We have been doing our best to kind of note those things as much as possible. And again, this is going to be an ongoing process of something where you'll see improvements from update to update. But in Free Title Update 1, let's talk about a couple of the improvements that are coming in the Steam version. So the first is a reduction in your VRAM usage. So I know some players may have noticed some things like pop-in and needing to reduce from that high VRAM setting to either medium or low. This is going to help with that setting and hopefully make it a smoother experience with your frame times and overall general frame rate. And another one is the upgrade to the direct storage version of that's being used within the game. So again, these are two things that you'll see in Free Title Update 1. These two things together should hopefully make for a smoother experience. Again, I think texture pop-in is one of those things, or when you're turning the camera, hopefully less kind of like stutter with your frame rate. And again, we're expecting that these should see an overall improvement for our PC players. But this is going to be an area where we continue to work. So again, we want to thank you all for reporting your issues, and the team is going to continue to work to really create a overall smoother technical experience for players, not just on Steam but on all platforms. So again, we appreciate your patience on this front, and continue to look forward for Free Title Update 1 for these improvements, but also some more to come in the future.
Definitely exciting and something to look forward to. And once again, thank you everyone for your patience. These kind of fixes aren't necessarily quick ones like bug fixes and exploit fixes, but the team have been working very passionately to kind of make these a reality. So really looking forward to you guys getting those. And kind of on that as well, it's not just kind of game stability, but game cycle balance adjustments. And as Joe's mentioned before with the corrupted mantle, and as we mentioned about how we're kind of tweaking things for 8-star tempered monsters, across the board, Tokuda-san explains that the team are going to take a wider look at overall gameplay flow, including things such as in-game economy, overall balance, and other areas. However, sometimes, like we mentioned, like when it comes to rebalancing the hammer, these can take time, especially when you look at it at a grander scale and then narrow it down into specific areas. So much like we're doing today, and we have done in the past. Watch this space if you're following us on social media, etc. You'll be in the right place to find out news on any balance changes and other tweaks that might apply to your experience in Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, lots to come on that space again. So we'll have more to share as we continue along within future updates. So definitely, again, look for more details on how they're taking a look at the overall game to come. But in terms of additional features, we have some cool stuff coming up. So let's touch on the first one. The first is the ability to preview each endemic life that you've captured via a list. So that hopefully people should be able to get a better look at all of the endemic life they've captured. But the second thing here is the addition of layered weapons coming in a future update. Now we don't have a timeline for this, but it will be coming in a title update. So again, be on the lookout for the layered weapons. We know this is an area that people are very passionate about and have let us know that they really want this, and I would like it too. So John, do you want to touch on layered weapons a little bit more?
Yeah, we know that fashion game is the end game for a lot of us and a lot of you, so it's really exciting to be able to confirm straight from Tokuda-san that layered weapons will be coming in a future update. So start planning. You can be like, right, well, I'm going to want this weapon for this look, this weapon for this set. Obviously, it's not coming in title update 1, but as Joe said, we'll keep you updated as and when, so you know when to expect this. But yeah, it's incredibly exciting. There's so many great designs. I mean, obviously, I sound really biased because obviously, we're Capcom, but the team have cooked so hard on these weapon designs, and I'm looking forward to repping, as many different ones as possible.
Yeah. And again, if you're not familiar with layered weapons, this is basically the ability to have whatever weapon you have equipped, but have the appearance of another weapon. So basically what you could do with your armor sets, you'll be able to do with weapons this time around.
Oh, looking forward to it. Time for me to start prepping my wardrobe for the future. But yeah, we know that's been a big one, so it's nice to share that. Yeah, let's scroll down. What have we got next? Ooh, looking ahead.
Yeah, this is essentially just a closing message from Tokuda-san. Again, thanking everybody for your support, and letting you know that the team is working really hard on this free content, and also making improvements and adjustments. So not just content, but also the things that you've seen outlined here that are more granular, more specific to your experience. And the team's going to continue to work on both of those fronts. And again, there's lots to be excited about. With Free Title Update 1, we've got that dropping. We've got Arch-Tempered Ray Dao on the way. Right after that, we've got the May. Or sorry, no. In between that, we have the first festival, right?
Yes.
John, do you want to talk about the festival at all that's coming?
Is it Spring Bloom Festival? So that's going to be really exciting. The Grand Hub is going to get our overhaul. Those of you that have played, World Iceborne will know what a festival takeover looks like. So it's gonna be this lovely pink blossom covered grand hub. There's gonna be special event quests, new rewards for you to earn, tons of good stuff, and there'll be returning event quests included there. So if you missed out any that you wanted to do, you'll have the opportunity to do that as well. So yeah, it's going to be a treat. So new things to get, old things to get, and yeah, a place to chill out in your very own Grand Hub.
Yeah. And then in May, we've got the Capcom collaboration with some other features on the way as well. So that'll kind of bridge the gap until the next big free title update, which, we may have teased something at the end of the last showcase. So again, yeah, it's just lots to look forward to. But again, thank you everybody for your support. Hopefully all the stuff that we've shared today and also with last week's showcase has you excited for everything that's on the way. I think we're all super excited. I'm really excited as a player of the game, and having put hundreds of hours into it already. I can't wait for this stuff to drop.
Exactly. And talking of title update 1, it's dropping this Friday. We are days away. And to celebrate that, Joe and I will be streaming title update 1 with you. We'll be in the Grand Hub, and we'll be inviting you to join us to check out the new content with Mizutsune and Zoshia. So we'll be streaming from 5 p.m. BST to 7 p.m. BST, which is 9, 8. What time is it for you, Joe? My time zone conversions are terrible.
You guys recently had a time conversion, I think, right?
We did. Yeah, it's currently 20 to 7 a.m.
Yeah. We'll follow up on social media. So
you'll see. Yeah. We'll be around this kind of time, so swing by.
Yeah. And as always, you can, if you miss it, you can watch the archive on YouTube as well. So we appreciate your support either way.
Yeah, and it's been a privilege for us to share this message with you on behalf of Tokuda-san. You can see how passionate the team are about keeping you all looped in, and that as Tokuda-san said, the hunt is on. This is the start. Tile update 1 is about to drop. We're incredibly lucky to have over 10 million hunters with us already in Wilds. It's an exciting time.
Yeah. Thanks again. Yeah, and keep voicing your feedback. Keep it constructive. That's the easiest way for us to make sure that we can sort through the things that the team that we would like the team to prioritize. So the feedback is super helpful, and again, the dev team is super passionate about your guys' opinions and your feedback. They want to make sure that you have an amazing experience in the game. And I think that's evident with the message from Tokuda-san today. So hopefully we'll have more things to share in the future. So definitely, again, stay tuned, and we hope you enjoy free title update 1 and everything that's on the way in the next I guess it's like kind of nonstop for the next few weeks, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to be all over Zoshia. I want that armor set so bad.
Yeah, me too. Then we got to make sure we're ready for Arch-Tempered Raidao. It's going to be an interesting one. We'll see.
Exactly. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. People that have said, I've not been too pushed just yet. I'm going to be watching closely. I want to see how much Arch-Tempered Raidao kind of brings the humble pie for us. I'm excited. I'm ready to cart, Joe. I'm ready to cart multiple times. More so than I do on stream.
Cool. Should we wrap things up? Any last words you'd like to share, Jono?
No, once again, thank you everyone for coming by. Thank you all for your support so far. And of course, if you do want to look at this in more detail, head over to the Monster Hunter Wilds website. It's the latest kind of news on there. You can read through the letter, have a little think, tell your friends as well. There's so many different things covered, from content to game stability, quality of life. Yeah, it's a great time to be a hunter. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think there's a lot of detail in here, but also, once we release the update, at least free title update 1, we also will have patch notes alongside that. So go ahead and dive into that when that comes out. So Again, yeah, definitely stay tuned to our social media accounts because we do have that server maintenance that is happening. I believe there is a session that is happening or has happened already today. And there is another one that's happening right before the release of the update. So just be on the lookout for that, and any other news via our social media channels. But yeah, we appreciate everybody's support, and we will see you on our stream this Friday when we figure out what time it is in the time zone. So
Yeah, we'll get there. You know, everyone loves a time zone change when you're working across multiple regions.
yeah. All right. Well, with that, we'll close things out. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Have a good one.